Welcome back, everybody, to what should be another thrilling episode of Ballers to Balding, where, as always, we'll have some strong takes and some weak follicles. While you're here, go ahead and like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, Spotify, because one loyal follower this week will be randomly selected to receive a free month of Ross's OnlyFans. It's exciting. Relax. It's not pornographic. It's just an old guy suntanning for 3 hours. It's going to be great. How you doing, buddy?
Oh,
what's going on?
Well, I had another tough week, my friend.
Every week it's tough. What happened this time?
It's just like I've become that guy that always gets injured or always has some issue. So here's what happened this week. So I'm outside, and I got a bee sting. Okay, now let me just say this. When you were little, when you were like, let's say you were 10 years old, used to be you got a bee sting, you cry for 20 minutes, then you get even a popsicle, you'd be fine. But not now. Now, at this age, I get a bee sting, I get a huge red welt, itching and burning for 3 straight days, can't sleep, can't even move without having any discomfort. And finally, on the 4th day, I just looked at my wife and I said, just do me a favor, get a dirty rag, put it in some whiskey, put it in my mouth and take the leg. I can't handle it. Amputate. I can't take it.
So is it there?
No, well, I now don't have one leg, so that solved that. But here's the other problem. 2 days ago, I got another bee sting on my back. Now, for this one, to try to preclude the issues, I asked my wife if she would suck out the venom and the stinger. But for some reason, she said no. I think it's because she doesn't want to set precedent on sucking anything related to my body.
Can I tell you something that's
what
so
a
funny?
week! What a week!
You know, I have a lot of bees in my backyard. And I'm with you on this. I feel like when we were younger, bees used to they'd be startled, or they would, you'd run up on them. It would be like a panic sting. I feel like now it's a little more premeditated. They're like flying assassins. You know what I mean? I got stung by a bee maybe a month ago. And I swear to God, it made eye contact with me first. It was like, you picked the wrong yard today, bitch. It's frightening. It's frightening.
Well,
they're not out. I don't think they're out for pollen anymore. I think they're out for blood, and I blame Fauci.
Anyway, tough week. I'm itching. My back is itching. And by the way, I was just kidding. I still have both legs.
All right, I figured. If you had lost a leg, maybe you wouldn't be doing the podcast.
Maybe.
All right, so let's get into it. Everyone's favorite douchebag of the week. You go first this week.
I go first? Okay.
Yeah,
well, for the first time in our show's history, we have a repeat for douchebag of the week.
A repeat offender.
Yep.
Exciting.
For the second week in a row, Luka Doncic, a.k.a. Douche Chick, is my douchebag of the week. Why? Because if you may recall last week, we talked about the fact that he got a 16th technical foul.
Right.
And I said he was a diva. He can't control himself. It ended up being rescinded by the NBA, so he wasn't suspended. And then that lasted for a whole 3 more days, because in the next game, he got another technical because he was jawing with a guy on the Brooklyn Nets. And now, unfortunately for him, there was no rescinding here, and he actually had to miss a game. Now, it was only against the Wizards, so it didn't really have any actual practical effect because, of course, I think you and I could beat the Wizards at this point. But the fact of the matter is, it just goes to what I've been saying about this particular guy. Douche Chick cannot control himself. He's playing, by the way, at an MVP level, at least on offense. Still doesn't play defense, and I don't understand why commentators don't really care about that once he starts scoring 40 points. But the reality of the situation is he is not a guy you can depend on. He is about Luka Doncic, and he is not about the team. Now, it couldn't happen to a nicer organization than the Lakers. But the fact of the matter is, he is my douche. He remains my douche. Congratulations, Luka Doncic. You are our first repeat douchebag of the week.
And I think I think it also says something about you. Like, you don't let shit go. You don't. You don't. You hold a grudge. It's not a bad thing. It's like you're not going to let him off the hook. You're not switching. You've paid him.
Yeah.
My douchebag I don't think this is even controversial. It's Dan Hurley, head coach of the UConn Huskies. And I don't think it's because of any specific terrible thing he did, but because I find him to be one of the most annoying human beings the world has ever seen, right? He coaches like the fate of his entire family depends on the next defensive rotation. And the NCAA tournament just has shined a light on how insufferable this guy is.
Unbelievable.
Last week, I saw him. He was going on and on about how he only got 3 hours of sleep because he was up till 4 a.m. watching film. He acted like he was tracking a serial killer. Dude, it's 19-year-olds running a pick and roll. You didn't climb Everest, you stayed up late. You know what I mean? It's not that heroic. Every guy with caffeine and a laptop has done it. And then you watch him on the sideline, and he's even worse. He literally reacts to each foul call like the ref just banged his wife. No joke. Every possession, he's like on the brink of a psychotic breakdown. And then post-game, and this is where he can be a real dick to reporters.
Yes, you hate this.
A real dick to reporters. But last week he got flat out weird. In this one interview, he was talking about the UConn forward, Alex, is it Caraban? Is that how you pronounce it? Caraban? He was waxing poetic. He was like, he's a beautiful guy. Really, he's beautiful. Are you breaking down film, or is this a best man toast? It's creepy. He answers every answer from the press like they're inconveniencing him personally. Like, why are you even talking to me? I could be out there yelling at someone. So really, that's why he's my douchebag of the week. Not because he's a bad coach. Obviously, he's a great coach.
Great coach.
But because he's a guy who turns everything up to 11 for no reason and then tells you about it over and over. No sleep, constant yelling, weird quotes, acting like every moment is life and death. He's the basketball version of the guy who needs to tell you how much he cares more than anyone else, And get over yourself, Dan. We don't give a shit. But here's one more award that he is going to earn. My douchebag of the week. Do you agree? Isn't he he's so annoying.
He's such a douche. You know what I think that he is unbearable to reporters, and it really bothers me. I recognize that the reporters ask stupid questions, but Bobby Knight used to do that. You don't have to embarrass a reporter. You just don't have to do it. Right.
By the way, the only reason he has a job and is making so much is because people watch the game. It is entertainment.
Yes.
Sorry.
And I do not understand why more coaches and players they don't understand that. No one cares unless it's being put out to the world by these reporters, and they have to do their jobs. And he's just bugs the crap out of me. Although he did reject the Lakers, which was awesome.
Yeah. Well, look, he's not everyone is a douchebag across the board. I mean, Luca probably saved a puppy once. Who knows? Anyway, so those are our douchebags. I think they're both good ones. I think yours is very interesting, a repeat offender, and it says something about him. It says something about you, and not in a bad way. Not in a bad way.
Yeah. So, a lot of people like hanging out with people who hold grudges. That's something that my whole family really enjoys about me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they do. I think it's a good thing. Let's get on to the NCAA, which is the big story of the week. And the Final Four, the teams that are in the Final Four. I know you thought Michigan was the best team all along, and they certainly,
I think that Michigan really is the best team in the country. I've thought that for a while, and as you know, I hate everything that is Michigan, everything about Michigan. I don't even like its colors. That's how much I hate Michigan. That said, and I always used to believe that Michigan had, like Notre Dame, had an inflated view of itself as both an academic institution as well as with sports. But I have to admit that Michigan has been tremendous in football, and now they're tremendous in basketball. They are really a legitimate top 5 athletic school in the country, probably closer to 1 than 5. And they beat Tennessee in the Elite Eight game by 30 points. They have who I think is the best player remaining in the tournament, Lundeberg. Okay, is that
Lundeborg?
Lundeborg, excuse me. Lundeborg. I think he's a tremendous player. And Mara
Is a beast
also
down low. Yeah.
is excellent and will continue the tradition of giant white backup centers in the NBA.
Yeah, true. That's exactly where he's headed.
It's just a question of whether he'll be playing with Utah or Memphis. And those two guys are pros. And then I think Arizona has a couple pros, Pete and Burries. Burries is their leading scorer. And again, both freshmen. And you just can see in these games the difference between the guys who are going to be pros and the guys who are college players. They just move differently, et cetera. So, for example, I know you're going to talk about UConn, but their best player is the center Reed. If you look at Reed, he's a very good college player. He's not going to be a pro.
No.
Doesn't jump, not athletic enough, only really relies on his right hand. That is not the case with Lindeborg, Mara, Pete, or Burrs. They just look different. They are different. It's kind of too bad that those two teams will play in the semis. And I mean, Illinois has a couple great players, but mostly they have Eastern European players, which is great if they're going to be doing luge. But I just don't see that as being a really great thing for the NCAAs. What do you think?
One game. Oh, I think one game, anything can happen at this point. I do think throughout the year, Michigan and Arizona were the two best teams, although Duke was a really good team too. They were right up there. Those were the three best. And I think Michigan in a 7-game series beats Arizona, but it's one game. Anything can happen. Michigan has started off very slow in a number of games.
They have.
And they might not have the luxury of coming back against Arizona unless they start strong. And when I say comeback, it leads to what I want to talk about, which is the classic Duke UConn game.
Oh,
which
what
was
a game.
like, which was unbelievable. And it wasn't even really a comeback as much as it seemed like you were watching a full psychological breakdown. Duke was up 19, and they looked like they had 5 lottery picks on the floor, and that they had a standing reservation at the Final Four. And then UConn just starts slowly chipping away. I mean, UConn started that game 1 for 18 from 3-point, and they somehow claw back. And at one point in the second half, for me, I was thinking this isn't even feeling like a basketball game. It's feeling like a horror movie where the killer keeps getting up and they keep killing him, and then he keeps getting up and they keep killing him. I mean, Duke was up double digits with 6 minutes left.
I know.
What were they doing? They started playing like the clock was a member of their team or something. and in the end, it was brutal. Duke's got the ball, 2-point lead, 7 seconds left. And instead of ending it, they basically ran a fire drill at center court. You know what I mean? And Braylon Mullins, who couldn't hit the side of a barn the whole game, gets it. You got a 35-footer. And the minute it leaves his hands, you know it's going. I mean, I knew. You know it. Of course, it's March Madness, And it felt like Duke had a better night. It felt they had better players. They were in a better situation, and it didn't matter. Somehow, UConn pulls it out. And the interesting thing, keep in mind, this is 36 years after they crushed UConn in 90 when Leitner hit that buzzer beater, right?
Right, against UConn.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And it was like UConn held on to that receipt for 3 decades. And it was like, we're cashing it in right now.
Right now.
And we're going to make it even worse. And it never even felt like they had some huge comeback. It was just little piece by piece they chipped away. UConn's probably going to make the final. Illinois is not going to beat UConn.
Let me just add, if the Duke guys had just held the ball,
10 seconds.
They would have gotten fouled. And they did not have to make the pass. But they were trying to avoid getting fouled, to avoid going on the line, which I get. But of course, then the guy, Boozer, makes a bad pass. I think it was the Boozer, one of the Boozers makes a bad pass, and it ends up in Mullins. And as you said, Mullins' stroke looked better on that 35-footer than it had the entire game. He's a freshman.
He couldn't hit anything. And I'll tell you, they also didn't have to get it past half court. That's the other thing.
Right.
They could have faked like throwing it up and then just hit it back to somebody. I mean, holy shit, that was really frustrating. But
did you see Hurley's mother? When they showed Hurley's.
She's cussing like a sailor.
Absolutely. I was thinking of you thinking, oh, there's Paul's mother, douche of the week's mother.
There's my mom, sweetheart. Yeah, I mean, I wonder where he got it. All right. NCAA, we were talking because we were saying how much we love it, and we named the 5 best college basketball players ever. And I don't think any of them are really too controversial.
Can I just add one thing? Can I add just
Yeah.
one thing? This, listeners, is independent of hair. Whether or not they have good hair had nothing to do with the selection. Continue.
All right. That's interesting. It didn't even come into it for me. I mean, the first one is a no-brainer.
Yep.
Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We both agreed on that. 3 straight national titles at UCLA. 3 times named most valuable, outstanding player in college basketball. And this is incredible. In 1967, the NCAA outlawed the dunk because of him. It was outlawed till 76. Literally, they called it the NCAA, but everyone else called it the Lou Alcindor rule. They literally outlawed dunking because it was like they thought it was like a cheat code for Kareem. That's unbelievable.
Yes. Can I add one other stat about that team? So that freshman team that ended up winning 3 NCAA titles in a row, the year, because at that time freshmen were not allowed to play. There was varsity and then there was freshmen. Freshmen were not allowed to play varsity, so to speak.
Right.
So he didn't. So that's the only reason why he won only 3 and not 4. The reason I say that is because UCLA, the year that Lou Alcindor was a freshman, won the NCAA title. So the year before he won his first, the UCLA won that without that. That freshman team played the varsity team and killed them. So the freshman team with Lou Alcindor killed the national championship team.
Incredible.
It's just
and they banned dunks because of him.
I mean,
that's
remember
like when I was in high school. When I was in high school, a similar thing happened with me.
I know.
They banned eating pretzels on the bench. Because of me. There were crumbs everywhere, and they felt it was distracting, and it showed that I wasn't really into the game. Anyway, why don't you name? All right, why don't you name the next one?
Bill Walton.
Another UCLA.
And came shortly after Jabbar or Lou Alcindor, 2 NCAA championships. He lost his senior year to David Thompson and NC State in the final game. His junior year, when they won his second win, he had 44 points. He went 21 for 22 from the field. I'll repeat that. 44 points, 21 for 22.
That's like a layup line.
Yeah. And wait, this is the other thing. The only shot that he missed was an offensive goaltend. So the fact of the matter, he's had a perfect game. And the fact of the matter is, Bill Walton, especially as he got older, you just loved him. So great, so engaging, so fun. And one stat, this is not college, but one stat that I think is very interesting about Bill Walton is Bill Walton only had 2 full playoff runs in the pros. 2 runs where he was fully healthy in the playoffs. One for Portland, one for the Celtics. Won championships in both. To me, again, very obviously can't tell because of the injuries.
One stat that I have that you didn't put in, 88-game winning streak at UCLA.
Yeah.
That's
so
incredible.
Good. He's so good. He was so good. People just don't realize how good he was.
I'm going to name the next one. Ready?
Yep.
Pistol Pete Maravich. Never won a title, but averaged 44 points in college without a 3-pointer. Yep. If there had been a 3-pointer, we'd still be counting his points, and he died in 88. We'd still be like tallying them up. I mean, that's incredible. He was an unbelievable college player. 44 points. Amazing.
And he's the all-time NCAA leading scorer, not just in average, but also total points. And again, he only played 3 years. That's 3 years versus 4-year guys.
Right.
And as you pointed out, no 3-pointer, no shot clock.
Yeah.
So they didn't score as much.
Who's your next?
My next, we're going chronologically, would be Patrick Ewing. Okay. Now people may say, Patrick Ewing, really? And I think people sometimes forget how friggin' good he was in college.
And you do a great imitation of people. You do.
What?
That's exactly what they sound like. Really? All right, so,
and 3 Final Fours, 1 championship. He lost that famous game to Villanova his senior year when they played a perfect game. 4-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year, and really was just a better college player. Even though he's a Hall of Famer and one of the great players in the NBA, just he's better in college. Like, if you recall about him in college, people thought he was the second coming of Bill Russell. That's why I said 4-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year. He used to block shots. He was mean.
Oh, yeah.
He was
mean.
He made.
He made. I once heard someone say he made going into the paint feel like you were going into a bad neighborhood. You were scared. It's like
edge.
I mean, he was. Oh yeah, he was great. He was the kind of guy that, like, if he's on your team, you love him. Intensity. He had the Garnett intensity.
Yep. And just a tremendous player.
From
in the
Boston,
pros,
Cambridge and Latin.
Absolutely, baby. And let me just say, in the pros, he became a much better offensive player, but he wasn't, in my opinion, as effective as an overall team player because he was so dominant in college defensively. And that's why I really think that he was such a great college player. People may originally think, really? He was an amazing college player.
Yeah.
Who are you finishing on our five?
Christian Laettner.
Not question.
Played in all 4 Final Fours of his career. Hit probably the most iconic buzzer beater in the history of the NCAA
No
tournament.
question.
One of the most, if not the most, one of the top 2 or 3. And went 21 for 21 against Kentucky. 21 for 21. And he's the only player, I think, in history who was both incredible and also somehow the villain in every game he ever played. People hated him so much. Yes. And he just plugged in. He was never as good a pro, obviously, but he was an unbelievable college player. Those 5, I think you could argue for other people, but those 5 were probably the best 5 college players ever.
I would say maybe Ewing is maybe someone can throw somebody over Ewing, but I think the other 4. I mean, Maravich did not have the team success that the other 4 did, but
had a great nickname, and he had great hair later on in his career. Pistol.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Let's end it. Let's go through all 5 Boston teams, and let's just give an update of
what's the 5th.
I said 5.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not going to do women's hockey. All right, let's just do 4. Let's do 4 then. And let's I thought we were going to do the women's hockey league. All right, so let's just do the fan level of paranoia right now, quickly, for each team. Okay. All right, you want to start? Yep. You want to do?
I will start. Okay. And stick with our theme. Okay, let's talk about the Celtics. And what I'm going to do is, because as is my wont, I like to put this in the context of hair and how we feel about our hair. And I would say that the Celtics are guarded optimism. And to me, it's like when you dry your hair, it's fluffy, it looks good, it's moving around the way you want, but you really can't tell how it's going to look until you put the product on. That, to me, is the Celtics. We think they look good, but we're not going to know until the playoffs. Red Sox lost again. They're now 1-5. Crochet gave up 5 runs today. Panic mode. I have got out of the shower. I'm still sweating. I cannot get my goddamn hair dry. It's doing things I don't want it to do. And to just make matters worse, I noticed a bald spot. Complete panic, Red Sox.
Okay, well, I'm going to do the Patriots, but I'm not doing a hair analogy. I'm just going to say that I think it's quiet panic with PTSD. That's where I would put the paranoia level. I think that everyone's like trying to feel good about this season, but the Super Bowl loss is lingering like a burrito fart. That's my nobody's screaming or having a meltdown, but it's like they're kind of like, yeah, I like where we're at. And then they look off in the distance nervously, I think people are worried that last year was fool's gold. We have a much tougher schedule. It kind of felt like they went shopping in free agency and came home with a pair of socks. I mean, people are freaked out. Everyone's thinking Baker Mayfield in year 2 at the Browns. I mean, everyone that year 2 was thinking like things are about to happen until absolutely nothing did. I think that people are scared about the Patriots this year. Then the Bruins, I think, is suspicious. I would say suspicious confidence. They're on an unbelievable heater right now. They just ran through what was supposed to be a brutal part of their schedule and actually knocked off legit teams left and right. Buffalo, Minnesota, they beat Dallas last night. And now fans are in that dangerous place where they're starting to think, wait, is this team any good? Are we any good? I don't know. Which is confusing because you look at the roster and literally they should be middle of the pack. They have a bunch of guys who like were okay at other teams and now are here and doing well. It's like they have no business bullying contenders late in the season, but they are. So I think it's like confidence, but it's shaky, cautious optimism. I would say Bruins fans right now are like gamblers on a winning streak. They're not happy. They're nervous. They haven't washed their lucky underwear since February. That's where they're at.
So would you rank these as far as
Paranoia.
Boston paranoia, least paranoid, Celtics 1. Would you put Bruins or Patriots? Sounded like you put
Bruins
2.
number 2.
Patriots
because,
3.
Because
Red
honestly,
Sox
we're
4.
kind of playing with house money with the Bruins. No one thought they would be good, but people realize that they're looking good. They're beating these good teams. They could get in the playoffs and be out in 4 games. So I think people are happy about how they're doing, but it's suspicious confidence. Like I said, like a gambler on a winning streak.
All right, buddy. Well,
who doesn't believe? Then the Patriots, who are quietly paranoid, and then the Red Sox, full-blown panic.
Yeah. All right, buddy.
All right, man. It was a great week.
Yeah.
I watch out for the bees, man. I mean, flowers are about to bloom, and I'm nervous now because I'm on the same page, man.
I'm telling you, stay away. Stay away. Those little fuckers, you can't trust.
Yep. I love you, buddy. Try and stay.
Love you too, my man.
Have a good one, Roscoe.
All right. Bye-bye.